stress around family side of things, that does overwhelm me quite a bit. But in terms of, doing the job.
Camilla's daughter was publicly humiliated after insulting Princess Anne right in front of Prince William, and the moment shocked everyone watching. What really happened inside that tense royal encounter, and why did it cause such embarrassment? Join us as we uncover the full truth behind this royal clash. Was it just a mistake or something deeper? What will happen next? The moment that sparked a royal storm. During a recent high-profile event at Buckingham Palace, royal watchers noticed a brief moment that quickly turned into a major topic of discussion. Laura Lopes, the daughter of Queen Camilla, was captured on a live broadcast, looking across the room with a cold and steady expression. The person she was looking at was Princess Anne. The footage, aired by BBC One, lasted only 6 seconds, but it was enough to draw immediate attention. Viewers who were quick to notice the moment clipped it and shared it online in real time. Within 30 minutes, the short clip had already gone viral. Social media users began to study the footage closely. People examined it frame by frame and shared their thoughts across platforms such as X, TikTok, and Instagram. One particular still image, taken at the 3.2-second mark, became the center of attention. It appeared to show Laura narrowing her eyes in a way that one body language expert described as a deliberate challenge. At the same time, Princess Anne, who was seated across the room near Prince Edward, briefly looked upward and adjusted her posture. Specialists from the Behavior Institute offered their interpretation of the moment. They noted that Anne's movement suggested controlled irritation. In contrast, Laura's expression was described as a silent but very clear sign of hostility. As the day continued, the clip gained even more attention. By evening, it had reached over 4 million views and had sparked intense online discussions about Laura's role and presence at senior royal events. Several hashtags quickly began trending, including ones calling for respect for Princess Anne and others focusing on the incident itself. Public opinion seemed to lean strongly in Anne's favor. Her long years of dedicated service have earned her deep respect, especially among royal supporters who place great importance on bloodline within the monarchy. As the conversation grew, commentators started bringing up past moments where interactions between Camilla's children and senior royals appeared awkward. These resurfaced moments added to the idea that there may have been a growing tension for some time. Inside the palace, the reaction was immediate and serious. Senior aides at Kensington Palace informed Prince William about the situation shortly after the footage began circulating widely. He reportedly reviewed both the full broadcast of the event and the short clip that had gone viral. A digital team gathered public reactions and highlighted comments with strong engagement for internal review. Prince William, who is known for handling family matters with care and restraint, took a moment before deciding that the situation could not be ignored. What seemed like a simple glance had now turned into a wider issue, and it was clear that it needed attention. As the clip continued to spread and traditional media outlets began reporting on it, the royal household faced increasing pressure. Behind the scenes, action was already in motion. Within hours of the footage gaining widespread attention, Prince William reportedly arranged to speak privately with Laura Lopes. The meeting took place inside Buckingham Palace, in a corridor near the White Drawing Room. 2 aides were present nearby, maintaining a respectful distance. According to those who were there, William approached the conversation calmly, but with clear authority. What began as a quiet discussion soon became more direct. He made it clear that her behavior toward Princess Anne was unacceptable, and that such actions could harm the dignity of the monarchy. His tone was described as firm and controlled, leaving no room for confusion about his position. The conversation was brief, lasting less than 5 minutes, but it carried strong meaning for everyone involved. Laura reportedly responded by explaining how she felt during the event. She said that she believed she had been sidelined and intentionally overlooked by Princess Anne during the banquet. She claimed that she was excluded from important introductions and that her presence was ignored throughout the evening. Despite her explanation, William remained focused on the larger issue. He emphasized that the matter was not about personal feelings, but about roles within the royal structure. He made it clear that such roles are not automatic and must be respected. This exchange marked an important moment within the household. It highlighted the clear distinction between different positions and responsibilities within the monarchy. It also showed that behavior at official events carries weight, especially when it is observed by the public. After the conversation, Prince William informed his private office as well as Princess Catherine. A summary of what had taken place was recorded for official records. He also gave guidance that Laura should keep a low profile at upcoming events for the time being. This decision was not meant as punishment, but as a way to manage the situation carefully. The monarchy, already facing ongoing public scrutiny and dealing with past challenges, could not risk further tension being displayed openly. As news of William's response quietly spread within palace circles, attention shifted toward Princess Anne. Many wondered if she would respond or take any action. However, she chose not to engage publicly. Instead, she continued with her duties as she always has. Her steady approach reflected her long-standing commitment to her role. While she did not make any public statement, those close to the situation noted that her private disappointment carried its own weight. Growing strain within the royal circle. Following the viral moment and the fallout that came after, Princess Anne chose to remain publicly silent. She did not react in the media or address the situation directly. Instead, she continued with her duties as planned, showing no visible disruption to her schedule. In the days that followed, she appeared at Windsor Castle and St. James's Palace, carrying on with her responsibilities in a calm and steady manner. At a charity reception focused on equestrian therapy programs, Anne maintained her usual composure. She smiled warmly, greeted guests, shook hands, and delivered a short speech. Her public behavior reflected professionalism and control. However, according to palace sources, her true feelings were very different behind closed doors. In private, Anne reportedly expressed deep disappointment. Her concerns were not only directed at Laura Lopes, but also at what she saw as a gradual weakening of royal standards. It is said that Anne shared her thoughts with a close aide, making a remark that was sharp and direct. This reaction showed her long-standing doubts about the increasing involvement of Queen Camilla's family in royal affairs. For Anne, this issue goes far beyond one single moment. It reflects a deeper concern about how the monarchy is changing. Anne has dedicated her life to royal service since 1969. Her view of duty is deeply rooted in tradition. She believes that being part of the monarchy is something one is born into, not something extended to step relations. To her, the crown carries a sacred meaning. It represents history, responsibility, and continuity. It is not something to be shared loosely. From her perspective, Laura's behavior highlighted what she sees as a growing lack of respect for this legacy. Her discomfort with Camilla's children attending royal events is not a new development. During the 2023 coronation, Anne reportedly felt uneasy about the seating arrangements involving Laura and Tom Parker Bowles. They were placed in positions that appeared more prominent than what traditional protocol might suggest. At the time, a senior aide recalled Anne making a quiet but pointed comment about the situation. This moment reflected her belief that certain traditions should be preserved carefully. For Anne, every small break from protocol matters. She believes that each change, no matter how minor, slowly weakens the foundation of the monarchy. In her view, the institution is already facing challenges in maintaining its connection to duty and heritage. Because of this, she sees the need to protect its values more strongly than ever. Despite her private disappointment, Anne chose not to speak publicly about the issue. She did not respond to the growing media attention or attempt to defend her position in the press. Instead, she allowed her actions to speak for her. Her silence became a powerful statement of discipline and maturity. It showed her commitment to the role she has carried for decades. Public reaction to her approach was strong and largely supportive. Many people admired her calm behavior and her refusal to be drawn into controversy. Across different age groups, support for Anne increased. Polls conducted by YouGov showed her approval rating rising to 78%. This placed her among the most respected senior members of the royal family, just behind Prince William. For many observers, Anne's quiet strength stood in clear contrast to what they saw as entitlement in Laura's actions. This situation once again highlighted an important idea about royalty. It is not defined only by titles or status. It is also defined by character, discipline, and a deep sense of responsibility. While Anne remained steady and composed, the situation took a different turn with Queen Camilla. Aware of how the situation was being viewed, Camilla stepped in to defend her daughter. Her actions showed a natural instinct to protect her family. However, this decision may have had unintended consequences. By stepping in, Camilla may have affected how she is seen within the royal family. Her effort to support her daughter, while understandable, appeared to deepen existing tensions. It highlighted the ongoing struggle between personal loyalty and royal duty. In the end, this moment revealed more than just a single disagreement. It showed a deeper divide within the royal circle. On one side stands Anne, holding firmly to tradition and duty. On the other side is a changing dynamic, where family connections are becoming more visible in royal life. This contrast continues to shape how the monarchy is viewed, both within its walls and by the public. Defense sparks tension and public backlash. In the immediate aftermath of the incident, Queen Camilla moved quickly to reduce its impact, presenting the situation as an exaggeration created by the media. In private discussions with palace aides, she maintained that Laura Lopes had been misunderstood, and that the footage circulating online did not reflect the full context. When King Charles raised the question of whether any form of intervention was needed, Camilla reportedly dismissed the concern, suggesting that the situation would fade with time and should be allowed to pass without further attention. However, within the palace, the mood told a very different story. It became increasingly clear that Camilla was not simply minimizing a controversy, but was actively protecting her daughter, even if it created strain within the royal structure. While her public attitude appeared calm and unconcerned, her team acted swiftly behind the scenes. Palace staff received clear instructions to redirect all media questions away from Laura. At the same time, access was quietly limited for several reporters from major outlets, including the Daily Mail, The Guardian, and ITV. One senior aide, speaking privately, admitted that the level of response showed the seriousness of the situation. According to this perspective, such careful handling would not have been necessary if the issue were minor. This behind-the-scenes effort reflected a coordinated attempt to manage the narrative and contain any further damage. Camilla also took direct action in her role as a mother. She reportedly contacted Laura personally and advised her to step back from public appearances for the time being. This included withdrawing from an upcoming arts gala scheduled at Somerset House. The decision signaled a clear effort to reduce visibility and prevent additional scrutiny while the situation remained sensitive. Despite these efforts, the incident revealed deeper concerns about Camilla's position as queen consort. Several long-serving aides, particularly those who had worked under Queen Elizabeth II, began expressing quiet frustration. There was a growing sense that the approach being taken did not align with the traditions they were used to. One aide reportedly observed that protecting family interests at the expense of the institution was not how things had been handled in the past. This situation drew a strong contrast between Camilla's actions and Princess Anne's well-known professionalism. Anne's steady and disciplined approach to royal duties became a key point of comparison within palace circles. While Camilla appeared focused on shielding her daughter, Anne continued to represent a model of consistency and commitment. This difference in approach quickly became a topic of discussion among insiders. As a result, tensions within the royal household began to deepen. Staff members noticed a clear change in atmosphere during internal meetings, especially those involving Clarence House and Kensington Palace. Communication became more strained, and a sense of division started to form. Some aides even began referring to the situation in terms of two distinct groups, highlighting the growing separation within the institution. King Charles appeared to remain in a difficult position, balancing his role between these emerging divides. However, it was evident that the tone within the palace had shifted. The focus was no longer only on Laura's actions, but had expanded to include questions about Camilla's leadership during a time of internal pressure. Outside the palace walls, public reaction developed rapidly and with strong emotion. It highlighted the clear distinction between different positions and responsibilities within the monarchy. It also showed that behavior at official events carries weight, especially when it is observed by the public. After the conversation, Prince William informed his private office as well as Princess Catherine. What began as a single social media clip soon turned into a widespread backlash. By the following morning, online platforms were filled with discussions, and several hashtags gained traction across multiple countries. Public opinion quickly formed, and the majority of support clearly leaned toward Princess Anne. Clips highlighting Anne's long history of service began circulating widely. These included moments from her tours in Africa, visits to military hospitals, and speeches delivered across the Commonwealth. These examples reinforced her image as a dedicated and hard-working member of the royal family. In contrast, Laura was increasingly viewed in a negative light. Online comment sections became highly critical. On official royal family channels, content featuring Laura saw a sharp rise in negative reactions. Disapproval was expressed openly, and many viewers questioned her place within the royal environment. Public opinion polls reflected this shift clearly, showing a significant drop in Laura's favorability rating within a very short period. Media coverage also intensified. Commentators across major platforms discussed the incident, often criticizing Laura's actions and questioning the broader implications. Headlines emphasized growing tensions and suggested deeper issues within the royal household. Even more neutral voices agreed that boundaries within the royal structure had been crossed. At the same time, past efforts by Camilla to increase the visibility of her children returned to public discussion. This added another layer to the situation, leading some observers to question long-term intentions and strategies. Amid all of this, Princess Anne's reputation continued to strengthen. Polling conducted shortly after the incident showed her approval rating reaching a high level, even surpassing that of King Charles. Older generations viewed her as a lasting connection to the previous era, while younger audiences respected her ability to remain focused and unaffected by controversy. The overall public view became clear and consistent. Anne represented duty and stability, while Laura came to symbolize distraction. Despite efforts to manage the narrative, this perception remained firmly in place. Meanwhile, as attention continued to grow and tensions remained unresolved, the situation highlighted deeper challenges within the royal family and raised ongoing questions about leadership and unity. Enforce new royal boundaries as internal tensions grow. Prince William has made it clear within palace corridors that the royal household will not accept any form of disrespect in the future. This message is being delivered not only through words, but also through firm actions. His inner circle has shown full support for his position. In the days following the confrontation, Prince William's private office moved quickly to set and enforce new boundaries. Senior advisors, private secretaries, and event coordinators all supported his strict approach regarding Laura Lopes. Behind the scenes, the situation was described as a zero-tolerance moment. Although William is often known for diplomacy, he has now drawn a clear line, and the royal court has taken notice. One advisor explained that he made it clear the household would not repeat past disorder. At Kensington Palace, William's staff began detailed internal reviews of guest lists, public appearances, and protocol expectations. Reports suggest that Laura Lopes and other step-relatives had been given increasing access over the past 3 years, especially since Camilla became queen consort. That level of access, under William's new directive, will no longer be automatic. It will now depend on conditions rather than assumption. The review covers event seating arrangements, official photo placements, and even palace-issued entry passes. This process is both symbolic and structural, showing a stronger effort to restore order within a sensitive institution. Internally, William's actions are seen not only as corrective, but also as protective of royal stability. During meetings, advisors noted that William often referred to his mother's experiences. He reminded staff how unclear boundaries and unchecked influence once contributed to emotional harm and media pressure. It highlighted the clear distinction between different positions and responsibilities within the monarchy. It also showed that behavior at official events carries weight, especially when it is observed by the public. After the conversation, Prince William informed his private office as well as Princess Catherine. His position was focused on preventing similar problems from returning. His comments, shared with senior aides and later understood by Princess Anne, were seen as reflecting her long-standing discipline and commitment to duty. Members of Prince Edward's team also expressed support privately, saying the changes were long overdue. Even within Clarence House, though carefully, there was acknowledgement that clearer rules were necessary. A royal historian observed that this moment reflects the early formation of William's approach to monarchy. While King Charles remains hesitant to intervene, William's direction is becoming more visible. Camilla's standing has reportedly been affected. and the lack of strong intervention from Charles has created a leadership gap that William is now filling. This shift has created a deeper divide between the Windsor bloodline and Camilla's extended family. The situation is increasingly described as an invisible conflict within the palace. Questions of legitimacy, access, and identity are now central. Royal observers have noted that Camilla's children, including Laura Lopes and Tom Parker Bowles, along with their spouses, have appeared more frequently at major royal events over recent years. These include balcony appearances, state banquets, and remembrance services. Although these appearances did not come with official titles or formal responsibilities, they were seen by some as a gradual expansion of influence within royal spaces. Traditional voices, including Princess Anne, viewed this as a breach of established boundaries. Prince Edward also reportedly expressed discomfort with what he considered unearned elevation. In response, William has excluded Camilla's relatives from internal briefings and ceremonial planning. His rule is that only those with constitutional duties or direct succession roles will be treated as working royals. King Charles remains cautious and divided between preserving family unity and preventing public conflict. However, his hesitation has left a vacuum that William is increasingly addressing. The first clear outcome of this shift is that Laura Lopes' attendance at official events is no longer guaranteed. It will now be restricted rather than expected. Quiet exclusion after the Windsor Castle incident. Without any public announcement or visible ceremony, Laura Lopes was quietly removed from the guest list of a high-profile state dinner held at Windsor Castle. This event was planned just a few days after a widely discussed viral incident. Her absence from the guest list was not officially highlighted, but it became noticeable within royal circles and among those who closely follow palace activities. The situation drew attention because her expected presence had already been assumed before the final arrangements were confirmed. According to multiple sources, Laura Lopes' name was originally included in the early versions of the seating charts prepared for the event. These preliminary lists typically reflect planned attendance before final protocol decisions are made. However, during the final 72-hour protocol review, her name was removed. This stage of review is known for making last adjustments based on internal decisions and sensitive considerations. The removal of her name at this late stage made the decision more significant and harder to overlook within the system. Reports indicate that the decision was signed off by Prince William and endorsed by Princess Anne. This combined approval was seen as a clear and direct signal within royal operations. It suggested a firm position rather than a temporary adjustment. The message understood internally was that Laura Lopes was no longer considered appropriate for inclusion in such high-profile royal events. This shift marked a notable change in her standing within official royal engagements. Following this development, further actions were taken that reinforced the distancing. Laura Lopes' palace issued guest passes, which allowed access to both Clarence House and St. James's Palace, were suspended indefinitely. This step affected her ability to enter key royal residences for private or official purposes. Even though no formal public statement was issued regarding the suspension, internal confirmation came from senior levels within the institution. A high-ranking staff member at Kensington Palace indicated that Prince William made it clear the matter would not be ignored or reduced in seriousness. This reinforced the idea that the decision was firm and intentional. In addition to access restrictions, changes were also made to planned public appearances and cultural events. Upcoming charity engagements and art galas that had previously included Camilla's children were restructured. Invitations were either withdrawn completely or redirected toward lower-tier representatives instead of direct family participation. This created a pattern of organized separation from events that had previously included them without issue. The adjustments were quiet in execution, but consistent in direction, making the distancing both systematic and clearly noticeable. Other members connected to Queen Camilla's family were also advised to maintain a lower public profile. This guidance affected how frequently they appeared at events and how visible they were expected to be in public-facing roles. Tom Parker Bowles, who had been scheduled to attend a culinary event alongside his mother, withdrew from participation with minimal explanation. Around the same time, family, friends were also discouraged from speaking to the media or offering public commentary. This contributed to a broader atmosphere of caution and reduced visibility. At the same time, palace communications teams were instructed to remove or reduce references to Camilla's children in future summaries of official events. Mentions that would normally appear in routine reporting were adjusted or excluded entirely. This change in communication practice marked a clear shift in how their presence was recorded and presented publicly. It also reflected a wider internal adjustment in how closely they were associated with official royal functions. A senior aide described the situation as a complete removal of the Queen Consort's family from the visible framework of royal representation. This was understood internally as a significant step, marking one of the first major reversals of influence connected to Queen Camilla since her marriage to King Charles in 2005. For Laura Lopes, the consequences were immediate and deeply isolating. She reportedly expressed confusion and frustration to her mother, saying in effect that she felt she was being erased from the environment she had previously been part of. Within the structure of royal operations, however, the situation was not interpreted as exile. Instead, it was viewed as correction. The internal understanding was that her actions had crossed an unspoken boundary. This boundary is described as an invisible code within royal life. It is not written in public rules, but it is enforced through participation, access, and acceptance. When it is considered breached, the response is not always formal punishment. Instead, it often takes the form of exclusion from events, removal from visibility, and gradual separation from institutional presence. In this context, the cost of perceived disrespect toward Princess Anne was not treated as a public scandal or open confrontation. Instead, it resulted in a quiet removal from royal relevance. The process emphasized distance rather than direct confrontation, shaping outcomes through absence rather than announcement. As Camilla's close circle became smaller and more restricted in public participation, attention increasingly shifted toward King Charles. The pressure around him grew as changes unfolded within his extended family connections. Despite the visible tension and adjustments taking place, King Charles chose silence. However, within royal dynamics, silence is never neutral. It is often interpreted as a strategic decision, carrying meaning through what is not said and what is not addressed. Silent shift of power inside the royal household. Throughout the growing scandal, King Charles III did not make any public statement. He continued carrying out his official responsibilities with calm behavior, including planting trees, meeting diplomats, and hosting charity leaders. Despite this public calm, people inside the palace said the pressure behind the scenes was extremely high. One senior courtier noted that the king was deeply affected, not mainly by Laura Lopes' actions, but more by Prince William's strong and direct response to the situation. King Charles, who is known for emotional sensitivity and avoiding conflict, found himself under strain between Queen Camilla's loyalty to her daughter and William's increasing authority. Private discussions between King Charles and his advisors became more tense over time. Courtiers encouraged him to restore clear authority within the royal household, strengthen succession order, and define more clearly the position of Camilla's family. Some advisors emphasized that the monarchy depends on structure and order, and at that moment, William represented that sense of order. However, Charles did not take firm action. He avoided direct intervention, likely due to emotional pressure, personal loyalty, or hesitation. Instead, he chose to wait, hoping the situation would settle on its own. But this silence was seen as a sign of weakness rather than stability. King Charles did express private disappointment to Queen Camilla. People close to Clarence's house reported that he described the situation as embarrassing and agreed that Laura should have acted with better judgment. However, he did not formally reprimand Camilla or restore Laura Lopes' position or access within royal circles. This lack of decision created an even larger sense of uncertainty inside the palace. One staff member explained that the issue was not only about Laura, but about who truly holds influence within the monarchy at this stage. At the same time, Prince William's influence continued to grow steadily. With Princess Anne and Prince Edward aligned with him, and younger staff supporting his modern approach, William began to appear as the central figure shaping the future direction of the monarchy. As a result, King Charles started to look more like a symbolic figure rather than an active decision-maker. This shift reflected a quiet but clear change in internal power, where leadership was gradually moving toward William's structure and discipline. Princess Anne's role also became more important, as she was placed again at the center of key succession discussions. Known for her consistency and strong work ethic, she became a stabilizing figure alongside William. Together, they were seen by palace insiders as the core strength of the royal family. Their shared approach reflects traditional values such as duty, discipline, and service, similar to earlier royal standards. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla's influence weakened within the internal structure. Although she remains queen consort, her family's presence in official planning and major royal events was significantly reduced. Their names were no longer included in key discussions or strategic documents. Camilla herself moved into a quieter position, with fewer public and internal roles. Efforts to merge both families into a unified royal structure faced clear limitations as boundaries were redrawn. Overall, the situation marked a silent but powerful realignment within the monarchy. King Charles's hesitation, William's rising authority, Anne's strengthened role, and Camilla's reduced influence all contributed to a new structure forming quietly. In this new phase, respect, order, and duty became central expectations, and influence shifted firmly toward the next generation of leadership.